It's day 72 of our 150-day Jesus journey. Today we look at Jesus forgiving the woman caught in the act of adultery. Stay tuned. Yesterday we traveled with our Lord down to Jerusalem for yet another feast of the Jews, the Feast of the Booths of Tabernacles. Our Lord took advantage of the imagery that was at that feast to preach on the water that all men desire, namely himself. Today, Jesus is confronted by the religious leaders regarding a woman caught in the act of adultery. She's brought to Jesus and is used as a pawn to try and trap him. The question on the table before Jesus is, should he obey the Bible and have her stoned for adultery? Or practice what he preaches by obeying his own teaching by forgiving a brother that offends? So how do you think Jesus is going to handle this difficult situation? Well, let's go and find out. We'll be at the very end of John chapter 7. So make sure you listen to these verses. And as always, once you're done listening to the Bible, don't forget to read my notes in the description down below.
But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Now early in the morning, he came again into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said to him,
"Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say?"
This they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear. So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up.
"He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first."
And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Then those who heard it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest even to the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her,
"Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you?"
No one, Lord.
"Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more."